entertainment fans, as you witness in the backdrop, you would think I was at Super Bowl 58, but I wasn't. But that's a nice clear backdrop right there. So the 49ers come up short again. I said this the whole game. They play not to lose. They play scared. They play shook. They try to be too concerned. Team like the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, who've been there four times now. He's 3-1 in the Super Bowl in 20 years since Tom Brady. Now Tom Brady as the only quarterbacks to win 3 MVPs. I mean, I can't knock Patrick Mahomes. I'm not a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, but I can't knock Patrick Mahomes though. The dude is a winner. The dude is a winner. They did what they needed to do. You could tell. You could tell in the second half the momentum started to shift from the 49ers because, I mean, granted, both teams turned the ball over. The 49ers had 2 turnovers. They couldn't capitalize on it. The one interception that they had from Patrick Mahomes, they couldn't capitalize on it to where they could have put this game away a long time ago. But as great as Christian McCaffrey was tonight, he couldn't do it all. Purdy passed for 255. Um, McCaffrey had 80 yards rushing on 22 carries. Nobody else did nothing. McCaffrey also, he led them in rushing and in receptions. He had 8 receptions for 80 yards. Brandon Ayuk only 49 yards. Jawan Jennings, who threw a touchdown pass to McCaffrey early in the first quarter, and then he caught a touchdown in the second half of the game. Like I said, Brandon Ayuk was no factor. He caught some. Debo. He wasn't really no factor in the game. He did got hurt, but he came back. But Kansas City defense played. They played them good. I still say in some point of the game that Kyle Shanahan should have moved Purdy around. He should have gave them he should have gave the Kansas City Chiefs different looks. He didn't do that. What he did was he allowed them to dictate. He allowed the Kansas City to continue to stay in the game and dictate the game. But and then you got to look at the Kansas City side of the ball. Patrick Mahomes, included overtime, passed for 333 yards. He had 2 touchdown passes. He also rushed, and he got most of his rushes in the second and the overtime. That when it was like 4th and 1, and then he also ran the ball a little bit more, to get them in deep territory. Pacheco, he only had 59 yards on 18 carries, but the 49ers defense did a good job on him. But then Travis Kelce, who was frustrated in the first half, they were showing him grabbing Andy Reid and yelling at him and stuff like that. He almost had 100 yards, but most of that came in the second half and then overtime itself. You could tell that the 49ers didn't have answers in the defender packs. You seen that they was giving up a lot of stuff. McCall Harmon, who caught the game-winning touchdown in overtime. Pacheco had 6 catches. I mean, literally, Patrick Mahomes was spreading the ball around. He spread the ball around a whole lot. McCall Harmon had 53 catches for 57 yards. Justin Watson had 54 for 3 receiving yards. Rasheed Rice had 6 for 39. Isaiah Pacheco 6 for 33. Noah Gray 2 for 22. Marquez Valdez-Scantry had 3 for 20. Jerry McKinnon had 2 for 50, in which he got activated. So that put What's the running back? A Claire out. They put him out on Clyde Edwards. A Claire out. Where I mean, he did play, but he didn't really do anything. Like I said, the Kansas City Chiefs fumbled the ball 5 times. They lost the ball 5 times. If you would have told me a team would have fumbled the ball 5 times and still find a way to win, then that would be asinine. I mean, they only lost one turnover the whole game, one fumble in the whole game. Patrick Mahomes had 2 fumbles. Isaiah Pacheco had one. That was one loss. Richie James had one fumble. Rasheed Rice had one fumble. And they only lost 1 out of that 5. If you look at the 49ers side of the ball, on that, they had 2 turnovers. McCaffrey, that was early in the game, which they got the ball back because Kansas City didn't do anything with it. Then Darrell Luther, the junior, when he went to get that on the punt that hit the back of his player, and he went to dive on it, he should have just dived on the ball. But Kansas City turned the ball over 5 times. And you going to tell me that you did not have a chance to put points on the board to put this game away? This game should have been put away a long time. Give credit to Kansas City defense because they took George Kittle's out of the game. George Kittle's only had 2 for 4. You know what I'm saying? 2 for 4. He took them out of the game. I would have found ways to get Jaron Jennings a little bit more play because that would have probably opened a lot more. Fred Warner, the defense, they was on the field a lot in the second half. They was on the field. Chase Young had that 1 sack, and then you didn't see nothing from him. He had two total. No, he only had 1 solo tackle, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for a loss, and two tackles for assists. So he was not even effective because in the second half you didn't really see much of him because one of the guys got injured in the game, but at the same time, they still had enough. As like I said, as good as the 49ers defensive front is, the problem with them is they secondary. Now you got a guy that's going to be injured all the way. He got an Achilles injury. Don't know how serious that is. Now he's going to be out for probably halfway through next season and everything like that. The 49ers going to have to figure out what they're going to do. I'm not saying Purdy. I don't know if Purdy is the answer for the 49ers, to be honest with you. I don't know if he's the answer. They went last year with him, got hurt against the Eagles. This year, he has some games. And for people that beat him up a whole lot, you know, saying that he's game changer, game manager, well, this is where he needs to be a game changer because guess what? They needed you. You could tell Brock Purdy started getting indecisive in the pocket. He started actually being unsure. And you got to understand, the Chiefs got tall defensive linemen, and he's sitting back in the pocket. Kyle Shanahan should have moving around. He's a short quarterback. You can't allow him to sit in the pocket and just try to throw the ball down. You got to create lanes for him. You got to create space for him to put the ball through. That's how he'll be able to. For the 49ers going forward, because you got to think now, the 49ers have been there twice with Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is 0-3 in the Super Bowl. And as great of a mastermind offensive coordinator he is, he comes up small at the biggest point of the game. Now, I mean, if you think about it, look what's going to happen in the NFC next year. You're going to have teams getting better. You're going to have probably the Commanders getting better. You're going to have Green Bay building on their success. You're going to have Tampa Bay. They're going to probably re-sign Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield. They're going to keep that unit together for them to build on. That's going to be another tough team. You got to think that Detroit is going to be there. Don't know what's going to happen to Philly and Dallas. They probably, they'll be in the mix. But there's a lot of things, and the Rams going to get better. So there's going to be a lot. Seattle's going to get better. So your division is going to get tough because the fact of the matter is that you come up small. Then you might lose some free agents. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I just feel like Kyle Shanahan blew an opportunity again. You had the Chiefs beat the first time around with Jimmy G. You had them beat this time around with Brock Purdy. What is really going to take for you to get over that hump? Because guess what? Your window of opportunity is getting small now because of what the NFC is looking like. Yeah, y'all probably could say, yeah, the 49ers still could get back there. But honestly, y'all need more weapons on that offense. Y'all need more receivers to spread the ball around, not just with Deebo Samuels, not with Christian McCaffrey. You need a you rely on Christian McCaffrey so much, but he gets worn down. You know what I'm saying? But you need to have like a change of back with him. You could have put Mitchell in it a little bit more. You could have used Mitchell in the passing game a little bit more. There was a lot of different things that Kyle Shanahan could have did with Brock Purdy, moved him around a little bit more. And then when when Spagnuolo sent the blitz and he did move out the pocket, it was a little too late. He could complete the pass. Now that one pass in overtime, that when they was driving down the field and Juszczyk had caught it and got the first down, they put them, I think, inside the 10. Then the next play, you had a chance to win the game. You run the ball and then run the ball with McCaffrey, and he didn't get no yardage. There was only 4 yards. Then you try to pass, but Spagnuolo sent blitz, so you couldn't set up for it. What you should have did is ran a boot on first down, screen pass out to McCaffrey. He probably would have got the touchdown. That would have been a game. That would have been game over. Y'all would have won the Super Bowl. Y'all had this game in control since the first quarter, and you allowed it to slip away because Kansas City kept hanging around. And again, I used to say this all the time when Tom Brady used to play, and I used to watch, because Tom Brady is my favorite quarterback of all time, along with Joe Montana. And I said this all the time with Tom Brady. When you play a guy that has been in playoff situations time and time again and win, and know how to win, and been in Super Bowls, it's hard beating that guy. It's hard beating that person because you have to be on your game all the time. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand. Yeah, Kansas City ain't had the best weapons, but guess what? Patrick Mahomes is learning just like to utilize the talent that he got. He only have to turn it on when he needs to. But the whole game, he stayed steady. He didn't get. Now, there was some frustration on their team part, but guess what? They stayed steady. They didn't let the game get bigger than them, and they worked their way in because they knew they was going to continue to get opportunities. Kyle Shanahan didn't create enough opportunities for his team to really make Kansas City work because Kansas, even though they was putting the ball both sides here and there, the field goal kickers was the key in the game because they always kicking deep field goals. But guess what? Kansas City scored on that touchdown with Jawan Jennings, and he missed the extra point. That was a 4-point swing that you could have easily kept the game a little closer and probably won the game at a certain point. But again, in overtime, you get the ball first, you drive down the field. What you do? You kick a field goal when you had a chance to win the game. And you gave Patrick Mahomes a minute and 27 seconds on the clock. That's like giving Tom Brady. I don't seen Tom Brady went down the field under a minute. Now, I ain't saying Patrick Mahomes is Tom Brady, but Patrick Mahomes, you can't give Patrick Mahomes that much time and expect for Patrick Mahomes to beat himself. He's not going to beat himself. And you could tell that the 49ers did not have an answer for him. They didn't have an answer for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it was bad on Kyle Shanahan part. I don't know if they're gonna ever. I don't know. Well, to me, I don't think they're gonna get back next year. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, man, for the Kansas City Chiefs, the NFL. I mean, these teams like a Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert and all of them guys over there, it's going to be hard for them to beat this guy. It don't even matter now if you have home field advantage. It don't matter if they be on the road. You gonna have to play. You would not beat themselves. Andy Reid would not beat themselves. It's going to be um Andy Reid is not going to beat his. And like I said, Andy Reid is not. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, they're not going to beat themselves. They are veterans. They don't been there too many times. You know what I'm saying? Don't know what Travis Kelce's future is. I'm sure he's going to want to stay and come back and see if they can run it back again. See what they could do again. See what they could. No matter what, no matter what, Patrick Mahomes is. He is the NFL's back-to-back guy. He's he I mean, it's hard to put in words, man. All I'm saying is that now um um Andy Reid Andy Reid, if the Kansas City Chiefs continue to go on this run like they've been going on, guess what's going to happen? Andy Reid, he could end up being the best quarterback ever played the game. So it's just that significant right now. Like I said before, for the 49ers, they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. They're gonna have to figure out some things now. They got knocked out last year. Like I said, they don't been there, and they haven't been there in the last 2 years because the year they went there, they lost to Jimmy G. The Rams went the next year. The Philly went again. And I would not put them up there as a team that could get back to the Super Bowl. I would not do that. I don't think there's enough for I don't think there's going to be enough for the 49ers to really do anything. They already got predictions for next year. They got Kansas City and the Jets. Kansas City is 2 seed. They got Baltimore, the 1 seed. They got Houston as a 3 seed. There were Chargers as a 6 seed. Miami as a 4 seed. Buffalo as a 5th seed next year. I don't even think so. That's going to happen. And I don't think you're going to see a repeat of the 49ers in Kansas City. Me personally, Kansas City is going to be the team to beat over there. I don't think Baltimore. Now Cincinnati, what they plan on doing with Joe Burrow, they come back. I think that's the only team that could probably beat them because they had the pieces over there and the defense, and they're not scared of Kansas City. That's the one thing. Joe Burrow does show that he could beat him and get to the Super Bowl. So that's something I'm gonna look forward to. 49ers, they got the Bears in the they got the Bears in the playoffs. That's a 7 seed. They got Dallas as a 3 seed, Detroit as 2nd seed. San Francisco the 1 seed, Green Bay is the 6th, Philly is the 5th, New Orleans. That's crazy. Well, safe to say half of them predictions won't even come true next year. But again, congratulations to the Minnesota. I'm about to say Minnesota Timberwolves. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning their 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years. Patrick Mahomes is a 3 times now. This team is a dynasty. Don't know how far they can go because it's still a long way. Patrick Mahomes is 3 Super Bowls in. He only need 4 to catch Tom Brady, but that's going to be a tall task to do. And he's still young, and he, It depends on what they're building over there. So they could be the next 20-year run. Who knows? But again, the 49ers shot themselves in the foot. So now we have to assess Kyle Shanahan just like we did his daddy, because guess what? His daddy didn't win a Super Bowl until I think he won 2 Super Bowls with John Elway, and he didn't win no until the latter years when John Elway was about to retire. But I mean, like I said, as great as the 49ers organization is, as great as they team is, they continue to come up short in the biggest game. And now people are going to be questioning, Brock Purdy. And now you're going to hear all these assessments of Brock Purdy from Speak, Undisputed, ESPN, and everybody. And I'm sure Cam Newton is going to have a lot to say, because what he said wasn't wrong. Brock Purdy is not elite. He's nowhere on Patrick Mahomes level again. There's nobody. I mean, the only person I can see is Joe Burrow. I'll put Joe Burrow second, Josh Allen third, Lamar Jackson fourth. That's about it. They ain't no everybody else is just there. So like I said, he's the best quarterback in the league, and I can't take that away from him, no matter how I feel about the Kansas City. So, and again, there we go. Well, this is your boy Loudwire Sports Entertainment, and I will be back with some Washington Commander stuff later this week, tomorrow and stuff. And it's what it is. But the season over. Now it's time for the regular season draft and all of that stuff. Super Bowl 58 is done and over with. Kansas City has won 25-22. That's the deal, baby.